Um, what's up, family? I'm getting ready to go to sleep. Let me see. It is now 4:57 Eastern time. 5 a.m. Yeah, this is the time I usually go to sleep because it's the time that's most quiet. You see, all of the noise harassment and noise pollution, even they have a cutoff time. Because you have these other gang stalkers who basically my neighborhood has been saturated with these creeps. I mean, from, I mean, wide. It stretches wide. It's not just like my block. It's the next street on the east side, the west side, and the south side of my house, the north side of my house. They have me surrounded like, the concept of the floating box. It's always a floating box around the target wherever they go. So this is my residence. So they've saturated the neighborhood, streets, far streets, like streets. I mean, across the avenue, the 5 streets back east, 5 streets over west. When it's so crazy because like if when I'm recording, the dogs, it's easy for me to spot the ones that's on my street. But the ones on the next street and the ones on the next street, they're so clever. They have a way to make the dogs bark at a distance. They have a way to make dogs bark at a lower tone. And how they bark at a lower tone, I can't hear them. If they're farther away, I can hear them, but it's not a disturbance to like my next door neighbor. You know, I've been sensitized to them. Dog barks, but you still have the people across the street who, when I come outside my door to smoke a cigarette, they're like doing snake shit, like slamming their screen doors. I can't see them, but you can hear them, and I know exactly who it is, but it's not something that I can record. They know I will record them, so they don't do that anymore. They do sneaky shit, stuff, try to do stuff that I can't prove. But what prompted me to make this video is I know it's not only happening to me, but you can make a comment if it's happening to you. Like I said before, when I lived in an apartment, they had my neighbors on all 4 walls. There's that floating box concept. They had them upstairs. They had them. I lived on the bottom floor, so there was nobody underneath me, but they had them on the apartment next to me, to the right and the left. Um, there was you can have any other apartments because we only had 2 floors. So there was somebody in the apartment next to me, somebody in the apartment to the right, to the left, and like I said, somebody upstairs from me. Now they had other people in my building who was stalking me, but they weren't making the noise. You know, if this guy upstairs is a stomping on my head, following me around the house, mimicking me, I go pee, he go pee. I go take a shower, he go take a shower. I flush the toilet, he flush the toilet. I go in the kitchen and run the water, he come in the kitchen and run the water. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Real targets. Uh, when this guy stops upstairs, he he'll still be watching me, but he may not concurrently harass me. It's always subsequent. Like once he stopped and the people next door, I'll be blasting music, you know, Tupac or something like, or maybe some heavy metal music, or this lady over here in this apartment over here, she has her dogs barking. It's always something. So that's why I said, I'd rather rent a house than to rent an apartment. Um, but in this house, I noticed that they find other ways to harass me, not just from the outside, but from the inside. Um, those energy weapons that they use, the PECs. Now I hear the PECs on the ceiling, like on the ceiling in my house. They do it like I could be sitting in the living room, my friend could be in the living room, but when he gets up to walk to the bathroom, they'll start doing the PECs again as soon as he walk away. And I mean, they're starting to do them harder. You know, they do them so hard that I can feel like an electrical volt in me. You know, when it happens. Uh, some type of, it's definitely an energy weapon. So when I go outside to smoke my cigarette, something said, look in the sky, look up in the sky. There's never a night where there's not drones over my house, but sometimes they look like stars, but they're brighter than the stars. They're brighter and they're lower than the stars. So I know that these aren't fucking stars. Um, and I look above other people's houses, the people houses across the street, what the sky looks like above their house, and the sky, even the house next to me, the house to the right and the left. I look up in the sky. There are no drones above their sky. It's like a cluster of these drones above my house. So I try to record them, but they don't pick up. I'm gonna need probably to invest in a better phone. Even though I got a decent phone, but they don't pick up the fucking drones. I don't have like a night vision. I need a phone. I know those new iPhones, but I don't fuck with iPhone. I don't know. I need some other kind of phone with a better camera, um, so I can pick these up because how can you explain this? You know, even though I did go to the police department um, about a month ago just to talk to an officer, just to see, because I'm constantly hearing people say, oh, it's not every officer that's in on it. Okay, well, if it's not every officer that's in on it, then where's the few the 10% that are good? I'm hoping to run into one of them that will help me expose. I just wanted to see. I asked them, I said, how do I make a complaint? How do I make a complaint of harassment? And he was asking me, like, do you know their name? Do you know? I said, no, I don't know their name. It's a organized crime organization. And I don't know what kind of groups they're in. It could be subgroups. I just know that there are these people, so-called people, following me and harassing me everywhere I go. And none of these people know each other. I don't see them talk to each other. They're people from different sectors of life, different sectors of society. So, but they all have one common goal, and that's to destroy me. Um, Now, I didn't tell him that, but I told him that, about the organized crime and that I didn't know their names. I don't here in Georgia, license plates is not required in front of the car. I'm noticing that a lot of the cars, especially this one guy across the street who keeps harassing me, now that I've thought about recording his license plates, he keeps his car backed in. So I can only see the front of his car. He's not parking pulled in, so I can't see his license plates. But he'll slip up one day. I'll get him. But yeah, like I have no names to report. So he told me to go to I wrote it down. He wrote it down. Columbus, GA, um, front slash. What did he know? What did it say? Police department. I don't know. It's in my purse though. He wrote it. He's like give a report. Type out. Basically, write out what my complaint is. It didn't. He didn't say that I can attach photos or videos or anything, but I don't know. Sometimes I went there just to see what they said. I feel like it'll be a waste of time if I did it. But I don't know. Tell me, like, for some of you people that some of my TI family, you live in a house. Are you experiencing like the harassment with energy weapons in your house? Like, and if you are, what forms of harassment do you get? Like, I've heard other targets talk about, you know, I guess an electrical person rigging their electricity, saying that everything they touch electrical, the toaster, the microwave, that they got jolts using the devices. I don't know. But every situation is I think critiqued to that individual, to that target. So I mean, I'm not expecting your complaints to be exactly like mine. These entities are very crafty. So, I guess the whole point is to make you sound crazy. For the most part, we all have the same story, but it's specialized to you, you know. Um, do you see drones above your house only saturated above the building that you live in or the house that you live in? And do you notice that they're saturated over your house, how clear the sky is over everybody else's property? Uh, yeah, I just wanted to talk. I just wanted to say this, that I'm being harassed in my house with the energy packs, constantly hearing packs on the windows, on the doors, on the TV, on the ceiling, through the roof. Um, yeah. Please make a comment and tell me, or make a video and maybe just put a link in under this video so I could watch your video to hear your story about, because some type of way, I don't know, our stories have to match. We got to come up with something, to expose this. I'm just wondering when will this exposure come out? I feel like it's manufactured. They're manufacturing chaos to keep this from coming out. Of course, the police or whatever are not going to be interested in hearing your story, which kind of sounds like a description of schizophrenia. No, they're not going to be interested in your story. They're too busy trying to make you look like a crazy person, so they're going to be too busy with trying to solve murders or whatever, rapes or whatever they feel like is more serious crimes than what they're doing to you. They're looking at you like, okay, have you been hit physically? Do you have anything? They're very concrete. They're not looking at anything like, oh, I feel like I'm being harassed. Oh, there's drones over the thing. And then the thing is too, just like they've never talked about chemtrails on the news, they just do what the fuck they want to do without letting the public know, oh, we're spraying for this purpose. I've yet to see anything on the news or anything in public for a reason as to why the fuck they keep chemtrailing. This been going on. I've seen my first plane above my apartment back in 2008 chemtrailing. I thought it was the air and water show. I mean, like they were, because I grew up by the air and water show by the beach in Chicago, North Avenue Beach. So I was used to, that's the only time we really seen a lot of planes in the sky, leaving what they call them contrails, but these are chemtrails. Contrails, you'll see the poof in the sky and then it'll be gone in a matter of seconds as the plane is leaving. With chemtrails, as you know, they linger, and they spread out and spread whatever this nano dust. I have no fucking clue. They said they're spraying aluminum, barium, whatever. We've never got a reason from the news or any public official as to why they're spraying us. So why the fuck haven't y'all told us about these drones in the sky? I've seen soft exposure, like when the fireworks what happened July 4th. It was like, oh, the news said they had one. This is how they got a better exposure of the fireworks. They're saying, oh, we have eyes in the sky. And basically they're trying to say that they use them for, to let people see the fireworks. But I've never heard any other explanation for anything else. Like, why aren't you telling the public that you have drones in the sky watching? I just feel like, it's already a violation. It's been several violations of my human rights. But yet, it's not only my rights, well, they're only after me in my area. So, of course, they wouldn't tell me. But how come you haven't explained this to the public? And of course, nobody else is complaining about it because they all have their hands dirty with blood money. So that keeps these fuckers quiet. Of course, they're not going to say anything because they're not being harassed. You know, like I said, you fuckers don't scare me. You don't scare me. You're trying to intimidate me and scare me. It's not working. It's not working. I still go wherever I want to go and I'm alone. I don't fucking stupor and cower and cry because I'm by myself. I just fucking deal with whatever comes to me. You know, I'm not fucking scared of you motherfuckers. I'm just not. Period. I don't live my life in fear. You know, like but that's because I'm aware. Of course I'm not gonna go to a park. I'm not from here. I don't know anybody else from here. Excuse me, y'all. Like I said, I'm gonna go to sleep, but I'm smart. Even God sent the disciples out in twos. There's two witnesses. You always need another person with you. Like they always, when they get witnesses to, testify to a crime, they go out knocking on doors. They don't want just one witness. They need at least two. So I I'm just trying to see. I watch a lot of TI videos where I try to, and I've never heard anybody complain about exactly what I'm complaining about. I've never heard anybody talk about. Well, I did just hear Sister Targeted Journey talk about. She just had a video and showed one of her drones moving, and the way it was moving, you knew it was a drone. You know, it didn't look like a plane. It was quiet. It was definitely a fucking drone. But I only saw like two. I think I saw two drones in her video, but we already know if there's two, there's more. But in her video, I only saw two. I don't know if she sees the saturation above her house, like in the wee hours of the morning. Most people are asleep. They thought I was gonna be asleep. They know that these are the hours I keep, so they try to harass me. You know, when I'm at peace in my house, it's not gonna work because I know it's you. I know, I mean, not you, but I know it's them. You know, uh, yeah, this was a short video. I just wanted to ask y'all that question. Get back to me for those who live in houses, rent houses, whatever. Do you see a saturation of drones above your house in the wee hours of the morning? The sky's like lit like Christmas trees above my house. Come on now, these are not fucking stars. I see a few speckled stars here and there, and they're not as bright as these. No other house is saturated with all these lights. You know, it looked like if I was slow, I would have thought there was UFOs above my house. No, these are drones saturated above my house, being controlled by some fucking freak, some demonic freak at a remote location somewhere else. They're watching me through my house, and I'm wondering, I'm assuming that these drones have some type of X-ray vision. They can see through the house with these drones. I know this shit sounds far-fetched. I do not have any evidence of this. The only evidence that I have is what I'm experiencing from my view, from where I sit. I'm seeing what's happening to me. I'm trying to make sense of it, you know, because when you explain something to somebody, if I was to make a report, the shit that I'm saying, this sounds it sounds like they're trying to paint me to be schizophrenic. Like, oh, she's saying she sees drones above her house, you know, whatever. But it probably would make more sense if others was coming out saying the same thing or admitting to. I don't want you to just say it to be saying it. I want you to make it more public. And I never talked about this before because this is not the first time I've noticed this, but I never talked about it before because it sounds so crazy. I mean, all this shit that we talk about sounds crazy. You know, you tell the average person, they gonna look at you like, you know, they ain't put you in a white coat yet in padded rooms. You know, so it doesn't make sense to explain something to someone like someone else said that's committed to not believing you. They've already put it in their head, you know, not to believe you. So why waste your energy to explain to someone who already fucking thinks you're crazy? Like to my mother, why would I explain things to her when every time I say something I'm attacked? You know, how are you going to attack me about what I'm telling you or what I'm explaining that's happening to me? You cannot, you're now, I won't allow you to discredit me and say, oh, ain't nobody bothering you. Everything that I say, you shoot it down instead of looking into it. You know, I'm sure you guys have that same frustration as well. I know that I'm not special, you know, but yeah, get back to me and let me know about this drone shit and why you being harassed in your house with these energy weapons, and if you're being harassed in your house by these energy weapons, how so? Okay, that's all I gotta say. I'm sorry, I keep yawning because I'm sleepy. It's about that time. The sun's about to come up, so I'm about to go down. Sound like a vampire, don't it? But all right. Talk to you guys sooner than later.